Uddhav Thackeray will take oath at Mumbai's sprawling Shivaji Park as Chief Minister of a Shiv Sena NCP Congress government this evening. 2 days after the BJP's Devendra Fadnavis resigned as Chief Minister after only 4 days in power as Chief Minister, along with the NCP's Ajit Pawar as his deputy. This ahead of a trust vote ordered by the Supreme Court. So let's quickly just take a look at the top 5 developments at this hour. So we have, along with Mr. Thackeray, 1 or 2 MLAs from the Sena, the NCP and the Congress will also take oath. The alliance, known as the Mahavikas Anghadi, said after a 6-hour-long meeting to finalize power-sharing details that took place on Wednesday evening. So from what we know, 2 ministers each from the 3 alliance partners will be sworn in today along with Uddhav Thackeray. The names we're hearing: Eknath, Shinde, Subhash, Desai from the Sena, Jayant, Patil, Chhaggan, Bhujbal from the NCP, Balasaheb, Thorat, Ashok, Chavan from the Congress. According to sources, Chavan from the Congress expected to be Speaker. The Shiv Sena leader is going to be sworn in as the 18th Chief Minister of Maharashtra. But let's go across to Srinivasan Jain, who's been following the story throughout. Vasu, as we read out the names, one name, of course, that's missing. What grabs your attention is the fact that Ajit Pawar's name not yet on that list of the 6 of the leaders we're expecting to be sworn in today to take the oath along with Uddhav Thackeray. Of course, questions also still being raised about who's going to get the role of Speaker and who's going to get the role of Deputy Chief Minister. But in that context, what should we make of, what do you make of the fact that Ajit Pawar's name is not there in that initial list of the two leaders of each of these 3 parties that are expected to be sworn in along with Uddhav Thackeray?
Well, I think it's fairly clear that there is a great deal of sensitivity around Ajit Pawar, given the fact that he's somebody who left the party, quote-unquote, betrayed the party by going along with the BJP, and has, of course, now been welcomed back into the fold of the parent party. So to have had him sworn in the first round would have sent mixed signals. So I suspect the NCP has decided to play it cautiously by keeping him out of the first round, only swearing in Jayant Patil as well as its other key leader in the first round and keeping Ajit Pawar perhaps for the next round. What we are being told is that there is still a question mark over whether or not he will become Deputy Chief Minister. There's a strong possibility that he might, and that might be announced later. But also in this round, there is a chance that he may not as well because of the fact that he was involved in this betrayal. So there's a divide in a sense, or a divided opinion in the NCP over what to do with him, because keeping him out of an important post also opens up the risk of a future rebellion by him, because he is seen as somewhat of a political loose cannon. So they can't entirely afford to ignore him either. So I think these are all the factors that have gone into consideration. But I think what's important to look at is really the fact that number one, Uddhav Thackeray will be sworn in with a sort of skeleton cabinet, as it were, just 6 ministers and him. The idea is to ensure that if you start now swearing in others and distributing portfolios, that could provoke a rebellion amongst those who are left out. And this entire arrangement is rather fragile, especially with a very aggressive BJP waiting in the wings. So I think they will go in for a skeleton arrangement at the moment. And again, wait for once they have crossed the important hurdles in the assembly of a vote of confidence of electing the speaker, and then perhaps expand their cabinet. As far as the actual breakup of the cabinet or the portfolios or the ministries are concerned, what I've been given to understand is that the initial formula was of 16, 15, 12. 16 to the Sena, 15 to the NCP, and 12 to the Congress. But the NCP has demanded an extra berth in lieu of the fact that the Congress is getting speakership. The Sena at the moment is believed to have agreed, which makes it 15 to the Sena, 16 to the NCP, and 12 to the Congress. So the NCP getting 1 more berth, even though they have 2 less seats than the Shiv Sena. Of course, the Sena may not agree with this, and that number could change. But this is roughly the breakup on which now they will sit down and work out portfolios. What I've been given to understand is that Sharad Pawar has said that a leader from each of the parties should sit and work out the portfolios. That would be from Sharad Pawar's side, that would be Jayant Patil, it would be Uddhav Thackeray from the Shiv Sena, and most likely Balasaheb Thorat from the Congress. They would sit down and work out the portfolios. But Sarah, I don't think we should be holding our breath. I think that will be only a little further down the line. For the moment, it appears that Uddhav Thackeray is simply in a hurry to to get himself sworn in so that there is no further, in a sense, question mark or no further risk of instability to this coalition.